Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Every Day is Friday. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. Let's get into it. I'm really excited to welcome Melissa to the podcast. Once a Playboy model, now a Reiki master, singer, and spiritual healer. I'm excited to have you on the show, Melissa.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a true honor.
I'm looking forward to it. Let's dive in. For the
Yeah.
listeners who may not be familiar with your line of work yet, can you give us a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
Ooh, it's always a quicker list of what I don't do. This is my favorite and least favorite question I ever get because I think the list is shorter of what I don't do. Like, if you look at my profile, I like to not label myself or put myself in a box. It actually says I'm everything and nothing. But for 3D terms, I have expansively worked in the modeling industry for the past 15 years. I have done a lot of different work. I've done Playboy, I've done photo shoots, magazines, flown all over the world. I have done so many things in the industry. I also am a singer. I'm a songwriter. I used to be a go-go dancer for music festivals and nightclubs, like major ones. We're talking huge, like EDC and Miami. So I've done so many different things. And then about 7 or 8 years ago, I kind of got open to this spiritual world, more so for myself at first. And then it became, my God, I need to do this and I want to help others. So I am a Reiki master teacher. I am a spiritual advisor. I also do so many different modalities, whether that's sound healing. I'm studying Kabbalah right now. I'm also practicing to hopefully get my certification in something called EFT, which is the emotional freedom technique. And if anyone has ever seen this, it's the tapping of our pulse points to release trauma. So I have my hands dipped in everything, and I kind of like it that way at times because I confuse people with who I am and what I do.
Melissa, it's always fascinating to hear the why behind someone's passions. I want to hit the modeling first. I mean, how did you
Yeah.
first get into modeling in the first place?
Okay, so since I was a little girl, unfortunately I have been a victim of bullying. I also have always suffered with body dysmorphia. Even to this day where I'm at, I still have body dysmorphia, and I will admit that. I grew up very insecure. I didn't like my body. I didn't like the way I looked. Like I said, I got bullied. I was the girl with a face full of acne, huge frizzy hair, braces, I flat chested, just you name it. And I really looked up to these women. I was like, I want this confidence. How do I get this confidence? I want to look like these girls. I want to be happy. I also want to attract, men, when you're younger. Yeah, boys. I wanted boys to like me. I wanted everyone to like me. I think that's the people pleaser, right? Is when you're a kid and you give into peer pressure, and that was me. I wanted to be liked, but I also wanted to like myself. I didn't like myself. So modeling really gave me that outlet. And it's so interesting because people are like, well, if you're so uncomfortable with your body, how could you be doing something as extravagant as Playboy? It gave me confidence. When I stepped in front of that camera, I was almost able to turn on a persona. I became the real me. I lit up by all of the masks and the limiting beliefs. When I stepped in front of that camera, they were gone. And I was hungry for more. So it was like the more I did it, the better I felt, the more confident I felt. And then not only that, I was making other people confident, especially women. It's always my goal when women come to me and they're like, wow, I wish I had your confidence. And it's like, I tell them if they only knew how many times I cried myself to sleep, how many times I look in the mirror and pick myself apart to this day. So it's interesting, but it really helped me, and it's helping me help other people too.
Now, Melissa, what did you have to do to become a Playboy bunny?
So the world of Playboy, I was introduced to Playboy very young. I'll never forget my grandpa had a stack of Playboys next to his bed for the longest time. I think I was introduced to sex and bodies young, just from my own, I guess, fascination with it. And I remember being in high school and being bullied, and specifically by guys. And I was like, I'm going to be in Playboy one day. And they're like, no, you're not. You're not pretty. You don't have breasts. You don't have a butt. How could? And I'm like, I'm going to do it. So it wasn't like a vendetta thing. Obviously, that pushed a little bit. It was for me, but also, yeah, it was kind of like, look at me. So I went to a casting, and they picked me up. I went to the casting, did the whole thing. Lineup of girls went in, told my story, sent the photos in, and That was actually the American, that was Cybergirl for the American Playboy. My first feature, I think I was 21 years old, and I got a 8-page spread actually in Playboy Romania. I had friends in the industry, girlfriends, shout out to them, who did actually help me out, and they're like, you got it, like you got the look. So that was my introduction, and then from there I started doing more of the countries, and then I'm like, okay, I want American, like I want, and I was never in, I want to make clear, I was never in the American magazine. I was Cybergirl. I was Cybergirl of the month. I think it was 2016 or 17 for 3 weeks in a row, which means I was in the lineup out of only 12 girls to be picked for the year. And then from there, you would be in the magazine. But it was such an honor. Like it was so cool. It was so, that was everything I wanted when I was younger. I was like, I did it. I made it. I'm in it.
Now, Melissa, was there any special way you had to dress up as a Playboy bunny?
No, I wasn't, like I said, I wasn't in the house, so I never experienced that world, which I'm thankfully glad. I don't want to bash Playboy or what I've done, but we've all heard the stories and we've seen the documentaries and what has actually went down. So I'm actually grateful that that never happened for me. I always dressed funky, sexy, different because that was just me as a person. Even when I was 13 years old, I remember wearing little tube tops and short shorts, and it wasn't because I was being sexually promiscuous, because in fact, I was the total opposite. I was actually terrified of boys. I didn't even have my first kiss till I was 15. It was just me. Like, sex appeal was me. I loved my body and showing it off. And like I said, I wanted to be confident, and it helped me. It made me feel confident. My parents were thankfully the type of parents that told me, wear whatever you want, express yourself. So I was always able to express myself, which is really, really nice because I still to this day, I always like to dress funky and weird and stand out. I don't like looking like everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't realize how much work goes into something like this. I mean, do people in
Yeah.
the modeling world expect you to eat a certain way to stay thin?
I think that is a thing. Absolutely. I think with social media, I think it's just like inevitable, right? Because the reality is, we know this as creators, it takes one comment. And we get a lot of them. I mean, look at celebrities. I just heard a story yesterday that I saw a sad story of this beautiful influencer who saves animals that took her life because of horrible comments. So it just takes that one comment, and it happens. You're fat, lose weight. And this is the sick world that we're in. And unfortunately, it is exacerbated when you're in the industry. Because yes, I have had photographers say, oh, you gained a little weight. And I didn't even realize. And then I go, oh no, am I fat? So it is very detrimental. You have to catch yourself when you're feeling those moments. And I'm also turning 35 years old. I'm not 21 anymore. When I was 21, I could eat a burger or a pizza and show up to a shoot and have a 6-pack of abs. And then now I always joke, I'm like, if I have a photo shoot, I usually starve myself for the day. It's just different bodies. So yes, it is a huge thing in the industry. I think just being a woman in general too, it's very hard on us because, and now this thin culture is coming back, this very anorexic look. Whereas a few years ago, it was the BBLs and the boobs and the butt. And now we're going kind of back to this, I don't want to say, but like cocaine era of very skinny women. And it's just like, decide for yourself. As long as you're eating healthy and you're working out and you're nourishing your body. Some people are just really skinny. I was always very, very tiny my whole life. I'm short. So I was small and compact. So if I gain 5 pounds, it looks very different than someone who's 6 feet tall that gains 5 pounds. So yes, I think it is a huge issue that I don't see changing anytime soon because of media, because we're told what is beautiful and what isn't.
No, that's a great takeaway. And Melissa, with all your years of experience, what advice would you give to someone who wants to become a model or even a Playboy bunny someday?
I think don't listen to anyone else for one. Decide for you. Is this what you want to do? And especially in the Playboy world, because the reality is it looks all shiny and glamorous, and we all think the same thing. We all did it for the same reasons. I thought that that was going to open the floodgates to my life. I thought I was going to become rich and famous and all of that. And it helped me, but it didn't do all of that. And of course, that was a younger mindset thinking. But you have to remember that doing something like Playboy, it's there forever? Are you okay with it being there forever? That at any time someone can Google you. And it is hard and it is difficult. And especially in the dating world, it's been very difficult to date. And it's something that I discuss with all models. You have to date a very secure person. And then on the other end, because I've done Playboy, and I say this all the time, this is not to knock anybody's hustle, this is not to knock anything, but certain people consider Playboy pornography. And that's where I think that a little triggering comes from, because I don't consider myself to do pornographic content. So there's that as well. So you have to think about all these things. You do anything, you have to think about before you do anything long term. Am I going to be okay with this? Like I have about 25 tattoos. I got my first tattoo at 15. I've never regretted a single tattoo. Most people, they regret it. Are you going to regret doing this later on? Is this going to hinder you later on? And I think that's really important to think about when you do like anything in life, but especially with modeling. Is this something that in 5, 10, 15 years, I'm okay with? And you know, how you show up, where I feel like I've had to kind of defend myself, especially in the dating world, which as I'm getting older, I'm accepting myself more. My God, I was in Playboy. That's amazing. When I'm 70, I'm going to look at that and be like, wow. But on the opposite, you hear it. Oh, you're never going to find someone. You're naked on the internet. So no one's ever going to want to really be with you. There is all that. There's a lot of that. And it takes a very strong person. You do have to have a thick skin in this industry. And again, you have to wake up and go to sleep knowing who you are as a person, aside from all of that.
It sounds like there's a lot more to it than just being in front of a camera.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Everyone thinks they're like, oh, you just take photos all day. I wish it was that easy. I wish. It's not that easy. Because like we said, you have to watch what you eat, for your skin, your body, your scheduling, so much goes into content creation, as we know, and it shows too in the photos. When everything is energy, right? So when you see a photo or you see a video, you can tell when someone's really passionate about it. You can tell when someone's nervous. You could tell. So much goes into it. And we see it all the time with so many beautiful women. There's so many, and men. There's so many gorgeous men and women. But my favorite thing, I think, in the industry, I think with the explosion of Instagram, TikTok, sugar babies, escorts, and just like in general, beautiful people, I think people forget that just because you're beautiful, that doesn't mean you're a professional. And I hear it from photographers all the time that they'll hire someone because she's gorgeous and voluptuous. And she gets in front of the camera and she's got no clue what she's doing. So there's that as well. It is a skill, and it is fine tuning the skill. And I have been doing it for 15 years. So there is a lot more that goes into it than people think. And I think people are always pleasantly surprised. And I'm like, why don't you give it a try? And then you let me know. And they're like, yeah, wow, this is really hard. And then you nitpick at your photos and a pimple and a bruise. And I'm like, all of that goes into it.
Now, Melissa, how did you discover energy healing and Reiki?
So I knew from a young age that I was different. I think when people are empaths, we call them light workers, people that see beyond the 3-dimensional reality. You feel different. You're the black sheep. You always have like this inner weird feeling. We call it of like going home. And I think it's like the alien side of myself that I just always felt different. And I was always very emotional and very sensitive, which I still am. A lot of times I will say that we say people have anxiety or depression. No, people have psychic abilities. People have gifts, actually. And we're just taught that we don't. When we're kids, we're taught to shut that down. Oh, you're daydreaming, or, grow up. So we're taught to kind of shut all that down anyway, from like a young age, whether that's our parents, social media, our upbringing, whatever it is, we're taught to shut all that down. Now, I always dealt with depression, anxiety. I was suicidal for many years, and I had tried everything. I was in doctors, in hospitals, on medications and therapy, and I just felt like a zombie constantly. Like, I look back on my life now and I realize how asleep I was. I was just a zombie. I was like we call them NPCs, like a non-playable character. It was just like drug induced, like, here, take this pill, take that pill. And I'm just like, there has to be something else. I know there's something else out there. And It's interesting with Reiki, like it is, I compare it to plant medicine a lot, which we'll get into. It's a calling. Reiki is an energy and it calls to you. So it's funny how it aligned because I finally decided like at a certain age, I was going to go off all medication, including like allergy medication from birth control. I was on birth control for 15 years. From anxiety medication, I was going off everything. I also went celibate at the same time. I went vegan at the same time. So I like shocked my body. And I also found Reiki right at the same time, a little bit before that. And I found a Groupon, funny enough. Fun. I'm frugal, well, Jewish. So I'm like, all right, this looks interesting. Looks relaxing. I like massages. So this looks interesting. So I found it and it was the most divine meeting of my life. To this day, I consider this woman my spirit mom. She's like, I used to call her my second mom, but now she's my third mom because I have a mom and a stepmom. This woman was so magical, was so incredible. And I went for my first session and I was hooked. I was like, whoa, what is this? It was like a therapy session combined with Reiki, hypnosis, talk therapy. It was all of these modalities in one. And it just felt like this person actually cared about me. You go to a therapy session, and I'm not knocking therapists because I actually wanted to be a therapist. I got my degree in psychology. It felt so clinical. It felt like being studied. It felt like being a lab rat. It literally felt like they were looking at you like something was wrong with you. Whereas the holistic side and, the internal medicine side, I feel like these people were trying to get to know you on a deeper level, friend to friend, soul to soul. So that's what Reiki was for me. I didn't know why it worked. I didn't really understand how it worked, but I know it was working. And I wanted more. That opened the floodgates for me. I wanted to know everything about the spiritual world, about alternative healing because of Reiki.
Now, what is Reiki and how would you explain it to someone who's new?
Okay. So my best explanation for what Reiki is, I like to say that it's a massage for your mind. There's no massage. It is not a massage, which is always like a common misconception that it's a massage of some sort. It is not a massage. So Rei and Ki, let's break it down. Rei is spiritual wisdom, and Ki, also known as Chi or prana, is your life force energy. So when you think about it like that, it's an intelligence. Everyone's into AI right now, right? It's an intelligence. It is an energy from above combined with your own being and healing. So it's a Japanese tradition. And what it does is it uses the hands channel energy to promote healing, whether that's physical, spiritual, mental, emotional healing. So even when I break that down, people are like, still, I don't get it.
What kind
I'm
of
not.
kind of healing have you seen through Reiki?
Oh my God, incredible. I have seen grown men crying on my table. I have seen people shaking, people telling me that their whole lives have changed after just one session. And mind you, originally I did this just for me. I wanted to heal me. And then I'm like, wow, I have to share this with other people because, oh my God. Oh my God, they have to know about this. They must know about this. It's so easy at one point, but it's also you're doing a lot of work at the same time. When people go into a session, you're doing a lot of work because you're finally listening to your body and you're feeling what is off. I say off because your chakras could either be underbalanced or overbalanced. And chakras, if people don't know, are the energy systems in your body. We have 7 main ones, but there are actually more of them that extend out into the aura. And again, with our chakras, these affect the way we eat, sleep, have relationships. If you have stomach aches, if you have headaches, all of this is based on your own body and your own trauma and the things that you have experienced in this lifetime and in past lifetimes.
Now, Melissa, do you use Reiki on yourself too? And how does that work?
Absolutely. I used to be better at it, and I've been pretty bad lately, which I'm trying to get better again. I used to do it on myself every night because, first of all, I'm a sensitive empath. So now what that means is I take on energy like crazy. I pick up on someone's energy from across the room. So when you are like that, you do need to recharge. And Reiki, you could do it on yourself, which is so nice. The way we meditate, we read a book, you can do it on yourself. So I used to do it every night and it's incredibly powerful. also extremely relaxing. A lot of people will feel super, super relaxed or sleepy, ready to like go off to dreamland basically without having all those racing thoughts. Because again, usually at night, what are we doing? We're going over all the things that happened that day, all the information that we took in, or maybe we're already thinking about tomorrow. I know that's me. Okay, I got to get up at this time. I have to do this. I have to do that. We're already like in the next, and that causes anxiety. It causes anxiety. If we're in the past, if we're in the future, it causes anxiety. If we're living in the past, we have the rumination of the depression, right? So all of this is getting lodged and stuck in the body. And now we don't realize, why do I have a stomach ache? Maybe because you can't stop thinking about something that happened 5 years ago. We don't realize that it's related. Our health problems, it's related to the mind and what we're experiencing. So it's extremely powerful to do Reiki on yourself and other people.
No, I mean, self-healing is so important.
Yes. Yes, I think it's everything. And as I said, I think I was starting to mention before, with Reiki, it's important to know, with anything actually, I'm not healing you. You're healing you. I'm just guiding you. I have the wisdom, I have the teaching, I have the knowledge to guide you to heal yourself. I am in no way healing you because I can't heal you. Only you can heal you. And that's what we learn in Reiki, in shamanism, in any sort of spiritual practice. No one is healing or saving you but you. Not your doctor, not your mom, not your sister, not your best friend. It's you. It's all you. It was always you.
What does it mean to be a Reiki master to you right now?
Well, I think right now I'm actually enjoying, so I'm a Reiki master and a teacher. I also certify people to do what I do. I'm really enjoying the teaching side of it. I go back and forth, hand in hand. I think Reiki is exploding, first of all, on healing modalities. Alternative healing is exploding right now. So, because people are just so interested and they're so tired of going to the doctors and just being sick and then taking one pill and then taking a million. It's like a never ending like band-aid. So I think right now more than ever, people are like very, very curious about Reiki and wanting to become Reiki masters and or teachers. Now, I will say on the opposite, because of that, there is a lot of fakeness that's going around in the industry and especially mine. Anyone can be taught Reiki, I will say that. It is not a skill. It's not like a football player, right? Like anyone can actually do Reiki and be taught. That being said, to become a Reiki master teacher, it's not an online course. It's not going to cost you $30. And you have to have the transfer of a master to a student to be able to call yourself a Reiki master. And a lot of people don't know that. The teaching, I don't want to say it's simple, but like I said, it's anyone could do Reiki. Anyone could be taught. I could teach you today. We could start. But to give me your certificate, I would have to put my hands on you and transfer my energy because there's a lineage of this knowledge. This knowledge used to be so sacred. It's actually been around for thousands of years, but the term Reiki master really only came about in the beginning of the 19th century. But this work was so sacred, they didn't want anyone to have it. That to be a master teacher, it was thousands and thousands of dollars. They hid the symbols, they hid the teachings because this energy is so powerful. So I will say a couple years ago, I wanted everyone to have this knowledge and this power. And as I've gone older and more deeper into the practice, I actually only want specific people to have this knowledge and power that are going to use it for good and that actually want this path in life.
Now, do you ever mix any Reiki with any other healing tools?
Yes, I do. I do. I said this to a friend the other day. I might step back into doing events. I used to do events and retreats and music festivals and things and do Reiki. And you take breaks. I had to take a little break and I've been on like a hiatus, but I do actually. I'm not trained. I'm not a hypnotist. I am not a meditation coach. I am not a professional sound healer, but I've been doing those modalities for so many years that I actually do combine them. So for instance, I've been doing sound healing. So sound healing, you'll see either a beautiful crystal bowl or they have the Tibetan bowls and you'll see people playing. I wouldn't say there's a skill or not skill. It's intuition, it's music, it's passion, it's art. So I was never trained in that, but I picked up on it and I do that in every single one of my sessions, usually at the end because I enjoy it. I think intensifies and enhances the session. And I also I love it. The vibration of the bowls is so incredibly powerful. And I also, like I said, I was getting hypnosis myself actually for 7 years. So I am not a hypnotist. I do not have a certificate that says, but I like to combine things that I picked up on for myself in my sessions. Same with meditation, because Reiki is still widely misunderstood. And it is a silent energy, by the way. So a lot of people are confused when they get into session. They're laying there, they're wondering if they're going to feel something. They're confused. So it is important to keep the mind down, because the mind's racing. Like, am I supposed to feel something? Is something happening? So I like to use meditation as well in the beginning and end of the session. And then through me just picking up on my own strengths and gifts, I started to actually channel with my sessions. I don't consider myself a world-renowned psychic or medium, none of that. I do consider myself to have psychic abilities, though. I have gifts, and I'm fine-tuning them, and I do actually speak during my sessions. If I feel a download for that client, what happens to me, it will be repetitive in my ear. And we call it clairaudience, where I'll hear repetitive either words or phrases or a name for the client. And it's so annoying to me that if I don't say it, it doesn't stop. It's like a ringing. You know, when you get like tinnitus, like it's called tinnitus, the ringing in the ear doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. So, and by speaking and confirming with my clients, they're like, how did you know that? How'd you know that name? That was my uncle. That was my brother. It's just downloads. It's just downloads. It's fine tuning. So when you're in this work and you're in the space and you're in the energetic space, all of these abilities start to come. So it's all of it, right? And again, like I said, we're all psychic. We're all spiritual people. You aren't spiritual or not. Everyone is spiritual. It's just if you're tapped in or not. If you're like, yes, I have gifts. It's within all of us. We all have it. It's just, unfortunately, what blocks is the alcohol, the drugs, the food, the sex, the gambling, the porn addiction. All of that clouds our intuition and our bodies and our judgment.
Now, Melissa, can you give me an example of you helping someone heal through Reiki, and how do you protect yourself, your own energy, when helping others?
Very good question. This is the big question, the most important question. For instance, I had a client that had horrific shoulder pain, and he was having surgery. He's like, I can't even play golf anymore. It's my life. It's my love. Now, mind you, I wasn't even in person with him, because you can also do Reiki like this, how we're talking now. Reiki is not bound by time or space. So it can be given from 10,000 miles away and be just as effective as if you were here in person with me. And I think that's the beautiful thing. So this client, within 2 sessions, never complained about shoulder pain ever again. Plays golf, swings, never again. And this is over 1.5 years ago. We're great friends, and he's still a client. The pain never came back. Never. It's like, how do you explain that, right? How do you explain that to someone? When I'm seeing someone come in for a session and they're distraught and they're hopeless and they leave, and a month later they're like, I got this job opportunity. I have a boyfriend now. I'm doing that. It's amazing. It's so rewarding to see. That's why this work is really, really rewarding. But on the spectrum, there's a draining aspect to it. And this is with every healer that I've talked to. This is with every Reiki master that I talked to. A lot of times you have to take breaks, and a lot of times people stop altogether. I think because we go into this work, and as I said, I'll say it again, I'm a sensitive empath. I take on everything. If someone is upset, I'm like, even if it's not at me, I'm trying to fix them. I'm like, why are you upset? And they're like, it has nothing to do with you. I feel it. I feel for them. I literally can put my feet in their shoes and feel what they're feeling. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a gift. But because of that, yes, I have taken on the energy of my clients. I have gotten sick. I've gotten sick before people would come to session. I've gotten sick when people left, and I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? That could be anxiety, literally diarrhea, out of nowhere, and I'm like, what's going on? This isn't from me. And I know I could feel this isn't from me. So it is super important. And we have a practice in Reiki to cleanse yourself before and after session. And that's something we call dry bathing, whether that's simply kind of shaking off the energy, washing your hands, showering, sage and Palo Santo to clear our space. So there's many different ways, but that doesn't mean just because you do all of that, unfortunately, it doesn't mean that you won't take on your client's energy. And then on the opposite, I'm never trying to give energy either, because we're doing an exchange or we're doing a dance. Every time you meet with someone, you shake a hand, you hug, you kiss your partner, you have sex with your partner. You're exchanging energy, whether you like it or not, whether you're meaning to or not. So if that person is stressed out, anxious, and crying every day, and now you just embrace them or you kiss them or had sex with them, and a week later you're like, why am I so anxious? Guess what? You just exchanged energy with someone. That's why. So it's really important to think about all these things and going into anything that we do. That yes, it is a lot of energy, and it is a job that you need to cleanse and you need to heal. And a lot of times I was doing back to back to back sessions. I was at music festivals and people were coming in the tent. I was seeing 100 people a day at one point. During a music festival, it's exciting, and people are on mushrooms and they're on all sorts of things, and they come in, and it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of energy. So it is super important to cleanse yourself and to do mantras, rituals, whatever that looks like for you. And this is just for normal people. And I keep quoting normal people that aren't in this community. You have to remember, everything is an exchange.
So you believe that people keep energy from the people they're close with?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We call them energetic cords. And again, they're stronger with usually romantic relationships. But this could be obviously to parents that birthed you, right? People that raised you, your best friend that you see and talk to every day. Yes, we're all energetically attached. We're all one consciousness, which is again why if you are super connected to, let's say, your partner or your mom, you can feel when something's off. When something, and then they call you and they go, something's wrong. And you're like, I knew it. What do you mean? Because we're tapped in to their energy. We're connected. We're constantly in relation with this person. So you do feel what they feel.
That's something a lot of people wonder about. I mean, how deep energy connection really goes.
Yeah. It's as deep as you want to go, and it's as deep as you are as a person, I think. I'm a very deep person, so I get deep with people. Yeah, it takes me a long time sometimes to cut those energetic cords, I would say, for me personally, and I know a lot of people deal with this, getting over an ex or a situationship, it takes me a long time, because when I'm involved with someone, I'm all in. You have every depth of my soul.
Melissa, I want to transfer over to the plant-based medicine. I mean, when did you
Yeah.
first try plant medicine?
Let's see. So I first started doing plant medicine. I'm turning 35. I was, I think, 27 years old. So that's 8 years, right? If I do my math. Yeah, right. Okay, 8 years. It's going to be about 8 years. And I started with the grandmother medicine, ayahuasca. Funny enough, I'm actually going to ceremony tomorrow to sit for my 9th ceremony. So this is all very aligned for me. I'm sitting tomorrow with grandmother spirit. So yeah, it was almost 8 years ago, and it changed my life. Changed my life. Just like Reiki did, changed my life. I don't think I would be here without it. As I said, I was struggling with suicide. I was really struggling with anxiety, depression. I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So I had it all. I had it all. And I was out of options. I tried everything, and the same thing with Reiki. It's a calling. The spirit, she calls to you. You start to dream about it. You start to see it on YouTube. You start to hear friends talking about it. And mind you, this was 8 years ago when it wasn't. Now it's very popular, and it's becoming a fad and a trend, and retreats are popping up all over. 8 years ago, nobody knew about this, really, not in the States. I was really like the first person, I would say, in anybody that I know in my friend group. Nobody really knew about it. I had heard about it, and I was like, all right, let's check it out. I started watching YouTubes and documentaries and anything I could find on it. And I'm like, yeah, let's go. I'm doing it. I'm all in.
Now, can you unpack that for the listeners? What do you go into asking?
I think when you realize you're ready for change in your life, and I say, like, when you're tired of your own shit, right? and you're like, I'm stuck. Nothing is changing. I can't see a way out. I've tried it all. I've done the meditation, I've done the mantras, I'm eating healthy, and it's still not working because it's in here. It's the mind. It's the mind. And being an anxious person, being someone with, that struggles with all these things, it is in the mind. And I'll never forget when I met with the shaman, and I had you usually have a consultation before. It's like you go to a doctor, right? The doctor, what's wrong with you? Why are you here today? It's the same thing. You go in, why are you here today? And I said, I'm sick. Okay, you sick? You don't look sick. I said, I'm always sick. I have throat infections and I get this, and I'm always in the hospital. I'm in doctors. I'm on medication, and I'm tired and I'm anxious and I'm stressed, and the laundry list of things. And he looks at me and he goes, you're not sick. And I was mad. I was mad at him. How dare he? I was sick. How dare he? He doesn't know me. He said, you know where you're sick? And he goes like this on my forehead. I just looked at him, and I took that. I'll never forget that moment. He was right. It's in our mind. So I think people are called to this when they feel like they're ready, really ready to transform their life, and they're really ready to step into that healing. And a lot of us, for this generation, this woke generation, a lot of us are those cycle breakers, though, because we're holding the trauma of our generations. A lot of us reincarnated, which means we were reborn. We have many lives. We were born here to finally break the cycles of the poor me, the victim. Everything always goes wrong. I'm always sick. I'm never going to find love. I have no money. All these stories that replay in our heads over and over, and these loops that we don't know how to get out of. It's all trauma. It's all generational. It loops, and we get reborn into these same cycles until you actually heal, until you actually break the cycle, is when your life begins to change. And this work is very hard work. It's not easy. It's really difficult work. The Matrix, everyone's seen the Matrix, hopefully, right? I like to compare it to the Matrix, because I'm like, am I Neo? Am I the chosen one? Like, why is this so hard? It's for the people that feel like their lives are so hard, but also know deep down they're supposed to change. They're supposed to change, rewrite their story, not just for them and the past, but for their future generation. It's a knowing. It's a knowing that you have to do this work if you ever want to be at peace in your life.
Now, Melissa, what happens during an ayahuasca ceremony?
Well, so like I said, tomorrow will be number 9. I am just as nervous, scared, excited as I am the first time I did it. I have sat in roughly about 30 different plant medicine ceremonies in the past 8 years, and every time feels like the first time. It truly does, because it's never the same experience. It's never the same. You're never going in with the same mindset, the same issues, the same goals. It's different. So it's wild to think that you could do something so many times, and sitting here with you, I might seem calm, cool, and collected. I'm scared for tomorrow, because you're going to face your demons. You're going to face your fears, but you want to, because when you get over that, I explained it to my parents last night at dinner. My parents, I have the most supportive, compassionate parents that I can talk to about anything on the planet. And that's my mom, my dad, and my stepmom. They know every time I've gone to ceremony. They know every psychedelic I take. They know. And they don't maybe understand it fully, but they know. When you go into ceremony, I said to them, I don't want to like curse too much on here, but I was like, I'm going to go and I'm going to throw up. I'm going to cry. I'm going to shit my brains out. And they're like, that sounds horrible. Why would you go and do that? Because I know on the other end how I'm going to come out. It's like a movie, right? Movies are all pretty similar. You have the movie, everything starts out amazing in the beginning of the movie. It's all fun. And then something happens. Someone dies, someone cheats, someone loses, something horrible happens, right? Something horrible. And then they work through it, and then things get better, and you get over that little hump. And then usually at the end of the movie, it's all happy. You realize why things had to happen the way they had to happen, right? Our lives are like a movie. It's no different in the plant medicine ceremony. It's not all butterflies and rainbows. It's not spiritual healing and awakening. Everyone's like, ooh, yay, frolicking butterflies and rainbow. It's not that. It's the darkness first. It's the evil, it's the sickness, the sadness, all of this stuff that we feel, that we see, that we witness. Once you get over that, so what happens is you drink the medicine, and it basically starts out as the most beautiful, colorful geometric patterns you've ever seen in your life. If anyone has ever had a psychedelic experience or a trip, they know these visions. Mushrooms, LSD, MDMA, you don't have that too much, but the euphoria, right? You have all of that, and your body heats up. Your breath, you start to breathe deep, and then you get hit. You get hit with life, the downs of life. And this is when it could get dark and scary. And whether that's demons, snakes, whatever you've experienced in your life or lifetimes, or your mom, your dad, maybe you're seeing visions for them. It's really unique to the person. So I've seen horrible stuff, horrible. I've heard horrible stuff. I've heard the woman next to me screaming like she's being raped and murdered. And maybe that's what she was experiencing. So it's very unique to the person, but I think it's really important to stay focused, and it's always important to stay with your breath, and knowing that this isn't the reality. You took a psychedelic. It's going to end. You're going to get through it. Knowing that helps. Being able to talk to yourself and having that guidance of knowing really helps. So when you are purging, we say purging, or getting well, we say getting well. The shamans, they don't look at the vomit and going to the bathroom and the crying and the shaking and all these things that we don't like. It's getting well. You're releasing the demons, the fear, the shame, the guilt. Everything that you're holding on to, you're releasing it right now. So you're basically experiencing 10 years of therapy in one night. It's literally like 10 years of therapy in one night. And then things come out on the other end. You might experience laughter and joy and comfort and warmth. There were times I felt I could feel the warmth of being in my mother's womb. I could hear the laughter and the beauty of children and the magic. There was one experience, if you've ever seen Pocahontas, with the grandmother willow tree. I had the tree talking to me, telling me I'm going to be okay. I'm supported. I'm safe. So just knowing all that, it's amazing, because people are like, how could you do this to yourself so many times? Because every time I've done it, my life got better. My life transformed. I stepped into a new self, a new character. So knowing that, you go into it every time and you'll continue to do it. If you know that on the other end, if you understand the duality of life, that you can't have the sunshine and rainbows without that thunderstorm and hurricane, you can't understand light without dark, you can't understand joy and pleasure without pain, you do it. You go and you do it.
Those breakthroughs stay with people forever.
Forever. And I can tap back into the medicine. I feel it all the time. I feel God, literally God within me. DMT, dimethyltryptamine, that is the God molecule, is in ayahuasca. It is in us. It's in our brain. It is naturally produced inside of us. If you know that, you could tap in at any time. It's just the knowing. It's the knowing how to tap in. And we forget. As many times as I've sat in ceremony, I've forgotten again. I don't know why. I've forgotten. I'm ready to level up, but I forgot. And that's why I'm going for myself tomorrow to ceremony.
Do you think plant medicine is for everyone?
I don't. I used to say I do. I don't. I think it is an amazing, incredible healing modality. But I think everyone's journey is their journey. And I think this also comes from me being in a different space where I was a few years ago, saying everyone should try plant medicine. I think it is unique to you. I think it is up to you if you want to experience it, if you want to try it. And the other disclaimer I'll say to note is things like plant medicine, ayahuasca, you also have to remember that people have specific illnesses and mental illnesses, especially because this is a psychedelic. It is important to note that if you have things like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, it might not be for you. And it could make it worse. They say also people with narcissism, it could make it worse. So it's super important to speak with the shaman beforehand, to have the consultation, but also to just decide for yourself. I have plenty of friends that say, I don't need it. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm at peace. I know what I do for myself, and that works. And that's beautiful. This is something that's worked for me and many other people and many of my friends and many people that I've led to ceremony. So that's why I'm so open to share it. And I do think it is something that, yes, if you feel like you've exhausted everything and you've got quote unquote nothing left to lose, then I do feel like this is for you. I know it can't hurt you. It can only help you.
Now, how do you prepare before a ayahuasca ceremony?
So there is a preparation. They call it a dieta, a diet. So there actually is a preparation, which I've been in preparation. Usually they say 2 to 4 days before, but I like to do usually like 5 for like the week, quote unquote. And this is basically just a very clean diet, vegan diet, or at least no red meat, heavy meats, no alcohol, no weed, no drugs of any kind, no garlic or onion, things that are strong that have spirits to them that could block your spirit. So it's super important to follow that diet. Also, meditation, not watching the news, not watching negative things on TV. All of these things can influence the trip, the experience when you go. So it is very important if you're taking medications to stop the medications sometimes weeks prior if you're on things like antidepressants and things like that. It's super important to follow this because it does overall affect the experience that you're going to have. It could make it worse, or it could make it so that you don't feel the medicine properly.
Now, how has a ayahuasca ceremony shaped your view on life and death?
I think death is the thing that we're most afraid of. And I think that's why people are so afraid of psychedelics and plant medicine. We're all afraid. But the reality is, I think most people are not afraid of dying. We're afraid of living. If you think about it, think about all the fears and the things that we tell ourselves. We're so afraid to live. And then when people are 85 years old, they look back on their life and most people are asked what they regret. I didn't live. I didn't take chances. I didn't do it because I was scared. So it's really interesting because we have the ego death and because you do experience death with ayahuasca, it is incredible. It makes you want to live. I joke, sometimes I'll have morbid humor and I joke and I say to myself, how many more times do I gotta die to really want to live? And that's the feeling that you get when you go and experience ayahuasca or bufo, which is DMT. You can also smoke DMT. It's called bufo alvarius, which is 5-MeO-DMT. And it's a shortened version of ayahuasca. I did that recently a few months ago. And yes, it feels like you are dying. You can feel your spirit leaving your body. And it's the scariest yet the most invigorating thing you will ever do in your entire life. Because you go through that, I feel like it makes you want to live. It makes you want to face your fears. Like, we were not put here to be sad, sick, and depressed and lonely. We actually weren't. We weren't put here to just work a 9 to 5 and go home and be miserable. We were put here to live, to experience. We've just forgotten how. And this is a reminder to you. So I think it's very scary, like I said, because you go in knowing a part of you is going to die. You're going to experience what it feels like to be close to God. And we say, and what I learned from the sages is all of this, our waking reality, we're dreaming right now. This is all a dream. Not when you go to sleep. All of this right now, it's a dream. We're creating. We're dream weavers. We're creating right now. They say when you die, you wake up from the dream. I got chills when I say it because it's true. This is all a dream. When you die, you wake up.
Now, Melissa, I remember reading on your Instagram bio. What does everything and nothing mean to you?
So I like to say that. I think I touched on it a little bit in the beginning because I think we box ourselves in and then others box ourselves in, right? We strongly hold to like who we are, our career, our name, what we've done. Like all of these, that's not us. That's actually not us at all. We are human, yes, but we are basically souls in a human body, in a meat suit that we put on in this vessel. We're having a temporary human experience. That's what this is. Again, this is the dream world. This is all an illusion. And I think because we are in this 3D reality, like I said, we strongly hold to who we think we are. I'm a model. I'm a singer. Who decided that? Did I decide that? Did they? Who decided? You get to decide instead of just boxing us in. And I think that's the beauty of life. Like we're forever changing. Tomorrow, you could decide to take up Olympic skating and you could put in your bio, I'm now an Olympic skater. You get to decide, no one else. So it's like on one term, I feel like I'm everything. I'm the whole universe. I'm whatever you want me to be. Whatever you think I am, Sure. You think I'm ugly? I'm ugly. You think I'm a world famous model? Okay. So it's like it's just words. It's whatever we place meaning to, right? So it's like on one term we are the whole universe. We are everything. You can be whatever you want to be. And then on the opposite, we're literally just specks of dust in this entire cosmic scheme, in this universe. We're everything and nothing at the same time. You decide for yourself. So it's like whenever I feel like I have an ego or I'm getting ego and I'm prideful about, oh, I have a following and I'm a somebody, God or the universe reminds me that, hold on. I'm going to show you the exact opposite of everything that you think you are, which is usually what happens when we strongly hold to something. God will show you, you thought you were that? You thought you had that job security? You lose your job tomorrow. You thought that you were in that 10-year relationship? You could lose it tomorrow. You thought you weren't going to find your soulmate? Tomorrow he walks in the door. So it's just kind of something that I like to say to confuse people that think that they want to place me in a box, that I get to decide what I am and who I am.
So that's a powerful way to look at things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a lot.
And
It's
all right.
intense.
Well, so this is the part of the show I want to transition to, the Friday mindset part of the show. I want to dig into your journey, your mindset, and the moments that actually shaped you. I mean, what's been one of the best pieces of advice you ever received?
Ooh, best piece of advice. I mean, I guess I'll take it back to the first thing that comes to mind is taking it back to the shamans and plant medicine space, because I've gotten such amazing messages from doing that. It's just we create our own reality. We are our own hero and savior. Like no one is coming to save you but you. And I think that's so important because no one is changing your life but you. You can become a victim of your circumstances and like the poor me, and you can attach. And I'm very good at this. I can attach myself to others' emotions and feelings and be like, they didn't validate me. I'm not good enough. No, it's you. You are going to validate you. You are going to save you and you are going to change your life. And it's almost the hardest piece of information to hear, but it's also the best piece of information to hear because it's empowering that you get to decide today if you're going to get over that thing and you're going to get over it and you're going to go out and change your life. It's all on you.
That's very good advice.
Yeah, thank you.
Now, what's one truth about life that you wish more people understood?
One truth about, I think that you're not stuck. We're forever changing. You're not stuck in your circumstances. We have such a limited perception. We only see 1% of the visible light spectrum unless we're dreaming or taking psychedelics. So you're only seeing 1% of reality. Let that sink in. We're only seeing 1% of like our potential. So much potential. I wish people could see that today, tomorrow, your life can and will change. It's just change your lens, change your view.
Now, Melissa, when your time comes, what kind of legacy are you going to leave?
I think that's what we're really all doing here. I think that's a really interesting question because I thought about this the other day. I think about a lot of times, what are we doing here? What's my purpose? What's my mission? I think that's like really what life comes down to, why people feel so anxious or ahead or behind. We're constantly comparing, but I think we're all really trying to leave our mark. We want to leave our legacy. So I love this question because I think about that a lot. And I thought about it the other day, and I have to continue this work because I want to help people from the bottom of my heart, whether that's through podcasting, through Instagram, through sharing about plant medicine, through Reiki, whatever model, anything that I do, I hope that I can make people feel less alone. I'm a super, super supporter for like the anti-bullying movement. I have no patience for bullies and I will stand up to bullies. I will put them in their place. I will delete, block, remove, because I think we're all doing the best we can with what we got here. And if I can just save one person, I'm happy. If someone can just say, hey, you changed my life, I can die happy, which I already have. I already have done that. I could die happy tomorrow. I don't want to die happy tomorrow, but I could if I wanted to, knowing that my story, my words, my whatever, whoever, my authenticity help somebody.
I love that. And the show is called Every Day is Friday, and Friday is a special energy, whether it's freedom, excitement, or just feeling of an accomplishment after a long week. Melissa, I want to hear from you. What does Friday mean to you?
Friday, it's Friday then. It's Saturday, Sunday. What? It's
Every
funny.
day is Friday.
It's funny because I make my own schedule. So like I don't work a 9 to 5. So sometimes like I don't know, a Friday is just like a Monday or a Sunday to me. Because sometimes I work on Sundays. You know, every day of the week is special, I think. Tomorrow obviously is Friday and I'm doing plant medicine, so it's extra special. But yeah, I think Friday excites most people because they work all week and they're hard on themselves, and then the weekend they let loose. But I think the goal is to truly enjoy your life and what you do all week so that even by the time you get to Friday or the weekend, nothing has really changed much, right? That you like Mondays. You like your life so much that you like Mondays. That you like the Sunday night before, you're like, oh no, tomorrow's Monday again. The weekend was so short. Days are kind of hard for me, I guess, because Friday, for me, I've created my reality where like Friday is just like every other day. It's whatever you make it, right? So sometimes I'm excited on Mondays. You know, like Fridays are great. There's nothing wrong with them, but I think the goal is to make every day then like a Friday, right?
Yeah, every day is Friday. Bring that energy into your
Every day is
everyday
Friday.
life.
Every day is Friday.
And this is your chance to leave the listeners with something powerful. Is there anything else you want to share?
Oof. Oof. I mean, I feel like I've spoken from the heart, but this is gonna sound cliche, but it's the first thing that comes to my mind. So I'm just gonna say it because that's me. Love yourself. Really, really love yourself. Love all the parts of yourself that you absolutely despise and hate. Because only when you start loving those parts of yourself, other people will love them too. You hold all the power. So all the things that you're doubting yourself for, or the things that you're shaming yourself, love yourself. As cliche as that is, I want to leave that as my message. Please love yourself.
Now, that is a great takeaway. And all your information will be in the description down below. But I want to make sure that people know where to find you and support your work.
Yes.
Where can they follow and support?
Yes, please. So I have Instagram as Melissa Lori. TikTok, I think is it the Melissa Lori? A lot of my names are changed because people would try to steal my names. I have a YouTube page as well that I also would love to share. I love collaborating with people. My YouTube page is Melissa Lori Official, and I have a website as well. If you want to learn more about Reiki, it's actually I made up the name Metamorphosis. So it's metamorphosis.com. So it's instead of metamorphosis because my name is Melissa. So it's basically helping people find their wings if you want to learn more about Reiki. And I think those are the exciting platforms I should leave everyone with, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, website.
Everyone listening, go hit the link down below. And that's a wrap for this episode. I know the listeners got a lot of value out of this. It's been an awesome conversation. Thanks. I
Thank you
appreciate you
so
being
much.
here.
This has been so in flow and super exciting, and I can't wait. And thank you guys for watching and listening.
Yeah, to everyone listening, stay tuned for more amazing stories like this on Every Day is Friday. If you enjoyed this, make sure you follow, share, and keep that Every Day is Friday mindset going. Stay inspired and make every day feel like Friday. Until next time, everybody.